Well, a very good afternoon. Thanks for clicking on to the Tuesday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. This is a very good example. I want to look today specifically at the model runs and how it is flipping around from one solution to the next. It's so easy year in and year out at this time of the year. Of course, we get excited when we see about high latitude blocking and the potential for any type of cold weather across, particularly, of course, your part of the world, either being the eastern United States or the western side of Europe. We love the aspect of cold weather. That's if, of course, you're a winter weather lover. But certainly, it's interesting how the models have actually pulled back on the idea of strong blocking. So it's bouncing back and forward, if you will, between a cold solution and a less blocky, less cold solution as we press through the month of November. So, of course, we've seen Epsilon lift north, we've seen Zeta lift north, bringing record-breaking snowfall, of course, or helping bring record-breaking snowfall to Boston. It also brought the middle system between basically Saturday and Monday. Zeta was the system on Sunday that brought winds in excess of 80 mile an hour on the west coast of Scotland. But those two tropical systems lifting northwards is helping, I believe, pump warmer air up into the high latitude region, up into the Arctic region here. But I did allude to the fact that I don't think it's going to hold on, and it might actually transition back to a positive NAO AO signal quicker than I first thought, based on what I'm seeing. But of course, the models can pull away from an idea and then it goes back to an idea. It's the general trend that you're kind of watching for. But even at that, how many times do we get disappointed by seeing things changing? But this is week one of the CFSV2. You can see here a lot of blocking both over North America and over Europe. Why would that be the case? I believe that is some sort of a side effect potentially to the system Goni that went into the Philippine Islands there a couple of days ago. I do think there's a potential that's why we're going to see a lot of milder air across North America and even potentially across parts of Europe as well. But the CFSV2, as you can see here, week one, indicating a positive North Atlantic oscillation and Arctic oscillation. Week two, you can see here that we do have that ridge centered a little bit further up into northern Scandinavia, up into the eastern side of the Arctic region here. But you notice here we've got a ridge here over Newfoundland, over eastern parts of Canada. But the negatives are still holding on here, folks, and that is something that I don't like to see if you're wanting cold weather, really. And even as we press into the following week here, yes, we've got high latitude blocking. You can see that here, but it's a kind of slightly less pronounced blocking. So obviously you're still 3 weeks away, but let's just wait and see what happens. That's the best thing to do. I don't personally see anything significantly cold in a major way, if you will. We might have kind of normal November chill, but I don't see anything majorly significant at this moment in time. So even with the blocking that's taking place here over the next couple of weeks here, why do I not think it is going to hold on? And the reason why I don't think, and again, this is me basing it on a model, which is hard to sometimes, I keep saying we can't base things on model runs, but look at this here off the CFSV2. So this is the 10 millibar temperature at the stratospheric level, and it's a fairly compact, fairly tight vortex, if you will, of low pressure here and of cold air. So it's not a particularly weak looking stratospheric polar vortex. And if you notice here that it strengthens as we go through the periods here, so right through till middle, even the second half of the month, if you notice here, as I play the loop, you can see here that that polar vortex is not weakening. In fact, it's strengthening from what it is now. So therefore, with the strengthening of the polar vortex here, Luckily, at the moment, we don't have the coupling between stratosphere and troposphere underneath, so that's what's allowing the high latitude blocking. So it's underneath this level here, underneath the stratosphere, we're getting the influence of the tropics, and that's allowing high latitude blocking. But certainly, as we go into the heart of the season here, that strengthening would only suggest one thing, and that to me would be a positive North Atlantic oscillation and Arctic oscillation. I'm a ruling out winter, not necessarily, folks, but I can't help but go by what I'm seeing. Strong positive Arctic oscillation. Notice here how the model has now kind of went back towards a neutral rather than negative here. So it's also peeling away from the idea of a negative, Arctic oscillation, and even this is the North Atlantic oscillation. It's staying above the neutral line here. So like I say, let's just watch this space at the moment here, but I'm not overly enthusiastic about what I'm seeing when it comes to winter weather. And of course, strong La Nina years tend to produce, if they are going to produce winter, it tends to be during the front half of the winter here. And of course, it's not looking overly great at this moment in time. That's it for today. So all in all, over the next few weeks, I think we're still going to continue to see a transitionary period from late autumn into the early part of winter. Nothing particularly stuck. We're going to continue to see a fairly mobile weather pattern, if you will, based on all the indicators that I'm seeing at this moment in time. That's it for today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll be back in the next few days with more. Bye for now.